Hey there, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So I had a chance to check out this new Netflix film called The Rip. It's starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. They're reteaming together again. It's an action cop thriller, and it's also directed by Joe Cornihan. This is the first 2026 movie for me to review out of the gate for the beginning of the year. And this movie is essentially about a group of narcotics team that are sent to this house to find a hidden stash of drop money that is supposed to be like 350 grand from what they have been told. They later discover that it's actually $20 million in cash. Now the tension, the suspense, and the stakes are very high, and their whole team doesn't know who to trust, that one of them might steal it, and that there's a traitor in the mist, and there might be a connection with the murder of their own police captain. When I found out that Matt Damon and Ben Affleck were gonna team up and co-star in the movie together for Netflix, I was very skeptical in the beginning because in general, most of the Netflix movie have been mid or terrible for original movies. But for original shows, most of them have been great. But for movies, not so much. But there are a few exceptions like Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein or the Knives Out movies. Some of them have been bangers. It's very rare for a Netflix movie to actually have good quality for movies. But in general, most of the Netflix movies suck and they were unwatchable and very forgettable. But after watching The Rip, I will say I was so surprised and very relieved that this movie is actually damn good and very entertaining. This is supposed to be based on a true events that actually happened in the 1980s. A corrupt cop that stole a lot of the money from the hidden stash of drop film money, and they took that idea and made it a film that it's in a modern day time. It's basically the concept of more of a like a 1990s, early 2000s throwback for a cop thriller movies that we don't often get in today's world. It has that little bit of a Training Day vibe and a little bit of Street Canes and a little bit of The Departed. But I will say I will not put this movie on par with Martin Scorsese's The Departed. That to me is the best cop thriller of a and definitely a masterpiece. Period. But I will say this is actually a damn good movie. I think they did a good job of constructing a good story and good character writing. The cast was so stacked. You even also got Stephen Young. You got Scott Atkins, which I was surprised at how good of an actor he really is. He's actually gotten better and better over the years. And he was coming off of more of an action hero, coming off of doing action martial arts movies and doing a lot of straight to VOD. But ever since I seen him in John Wick Chapter 4, his acting has stepped up. And then seeing him in the role like this, he doesn't have a lot to do in the movie. He's only had like 2 scenes in the movie. You're not going to expect much of him throwing spinning kick around throughout the whole movie. When he was on screen, he actually crushes it. I love Matt Damon and Ben Affleck's banter together. They work so well together whenever they're starring in the movie together. They did a movie, Good Will Hunting, which was one of my all-time favorite movies. They were in Kevin Smith movies a lot. And the last movie that they starred in together was the movie Air that Ben Affleck directed a few years ago, which I recommend you should check out Air on Prime Video if you haven't already. That was fantastic. And and I was a little bit optimistic when I found out that Joe Cornihan was directing the film because the last film I saw him direct was the movie called The Gray, a thriller that was starring Liam Neeson. And if you have not seen The Gray, I recommend you should check it out. It's a very underrated thriller movie. It was a movie that came out like in 2011. And he also directed a few episodes of an NBC show called The Blacklist. So I was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. And now I will say I recommend you should check this movie out. I think they did a great job of adding the tension and the suspense that you don't know who to trust, who's the one who's the traitor, who's the one that murdered their own police captain. And I think they did a great job of constructing that question of every character because every one of them can have a motive for wanting to steal $20 million in cash of drug money. And you don't know that the cartel might be behind it and they might come back and get it and kill every one of those officers. I think they did a great job of the cinematography. The shootout felt so realistic. I have a feeling that the gunfires are definitely using blanks because majority of the Netflix movie, whenever they do some gunfights, sometimes it doesn't always look real because most of them use airsoft guns to for safety purposes. But I think they might use blanks. I think might be one of the first movies that they wanted to make the shootout more realistic as possible. And obviously, they had a lot of training with weapons, and I think they did a great job of like constructing choreography of the shootout. And it's not really just about the action; it's really about the tension, and the suspense, and the mystery, and the plot twist of seeing seeing it thickened in the third act is what really matters. And I think that most of the characters had great character depth. And you got Sasha Calle, who was the one that played Supergirl in the Flash movie a few years ago. I thought she was really good, but I didn't really see her in a lot of roles to really know for sure that she can really act well. Seeing her in the movie The Rip, she crushed it. I think she was fantastic in the movie, and she definitely served a lot of purpose. You got Tiana Taylor, who was coming off of Paul Thomas Anderson's movie, One Battle After Another. I think she was really good, but one of my negatives was that I wish she would have had a lot more to do instead of just having her counting the money throughout the whole movie. But I'm not saying she was bad. I think she was really good, but I just wish they would have given her more to do. And you got Steven Yeun, who was coming off of the show Invincible that played the main character Mark, and he's best known as Glenn from The Walking Dead. I always thought he is a great actor. I always thought he had a lot of great charisma and add a lot more gravitas, and I thought he was fantastic in the movie. He's such a damn good actor. He's come a long way over the years. And then you got Kyle Chandler, which I thought he was great in the movie. And yeah, all the cast were fantastic. There are still some supporting characters that I wish they would have had a lot more to do. I don't think that the movie is perfect. I wish they could have done a little bit more in the third act and add a lot more thrills, even though they do add the thrills. And I am and there are a few moments in the movie that I kind of suspected that one person was actually a traitor, that I kind of saw that coming. But you know what? I love how they were able to cut from flashbacks to present day time, how they were able to like unravel the mystery. It almost reminded me of the movie Saw, where they unraveled the mystery and the plot thickens by the time you get to the third act of the movie. But overall, this was a great throwback to old school cop thrillers that we often don't get in today's world. And I wish they would have put this out in theaters, but I can understand why that they don't want to put this out in the theatrical run, because in today's world, it's very hard to like put out a cop thriller movie, especially we live in a world where we have full of corrupt cops and law enforcement in today's world. But you know what? I still wish they would have put this out in theaters. It would have been so much more entertaining and much more immersive when you see it in theaters, and it felt like a movie. It did not feel like a Netflix movie. And this is one of those movies that people often bitch about that they don't make them like they used to. And I encourage you, for some of you out there who want to see a movie like this is one of the movies I recommend. I'm going to give you my official score for The Rib. I'm going to give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. This is a really damn good movie. I don't know if I'm ready to say that this is one of my favorite movies of the year, because I've only seen one 2026 movies. There's still a lot more to come. We're still at the beginning of the year. But anyway, what did you think of The Rib? Let me know what you thought. Did you enjoy it or did you not enjoy it? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this review, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notifications so you know when my videos are up. And if you want to follow my social media links like TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, click on the link tree in the description down below. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, great evening, wherever you're from, and stay tuned for more of my content.